back in session. At Ogden Elementary, that means a brand new building. Nick Vole and Tara Cox will have more on that. Amanda Richter will show us the changes at King Elementary, and we have a lot more as school gets going. Let's go inside Vancouver Public Schools. Hello and welcome inside Vancouver Public Schools. I'm Jessica Moss. There's so much happening across the school district as classes resume for the year. But let's start with our top 3. These are our favorite social media posts. We start with a great shot from the first day. This photo was posted on Instagram by DryAD271, a mom with a 4th grader headed off to school. She says her only advice on his first day outfit was nothing with holes. It looks like he picked pretty well. Our number 2 also comes from the first day. It was posted by Fort Vancouver teacher Owen Fraser. His ASB leadership team held the door for incoming students. What a great display of leadership and friendship from the Trappers. It's a great way to welcome students for the new school year. And our number 1 comes from just before the start of the school year. Carla Phelps, who works with families in the district, was shopping at Target for school supplies using money donated by the community. A woman stopped her to ask her what she was doing, and after Carla explained, the woman handed her a $10 bill to chip in for more supplies. It was a truly cool moment and an example of how Vancouver rallies around its children. Now let's get started with a Revitalizing Vancouver update, the latest on school construction projects paid for with your bond dollars. The very first new school building from the bond is now open. Ogden Elementary students are learning in a beautiful modern building, and Nick Vole is standing by to show us how families reacted on the first day of school. Nick?
On this first day of school here at Ogden, of course, there is a new building behind us, but it's also a new procedure for parents and kids as they come into school, and for staff members who have to figure out how to get a whole school into a brand new building. A little bit of confusion on the first day, but overall very smooth sailing as everyone's excited to get the school year started. Staff members usher students to the correct entrance. Kindergartners on one side, older students on the other, as everyone learns what morning drop-off will be like at the new Ogden. Cars and buses have separate driveways, so traffic is smooth. There are a ton of first day photos and the smiles that go along with them. How excited are you to go into the new school today?
Very excited.
I'm very excited to go to this new school.
Everybody is so nice, and the new school is so big, and it makes me so excited.
We got to go last night. It's excellent. It's just so cool. I know the kids are really excited. There's a lot of neat features. It's going to be great.
I think it's going to be a great place for kids to learn. You can tell they really incorporated a lot of different things into creating this space, so I think it's going to be really good.
Leah, a 4th grader, and her mom, Shelly, have been a part of the process the whole way. Shelly was a part of the community symposium 3 years ago that helped plan what the school would be like. Does it feel rewarding to you to know that all that has resulted in something amazing?
Yeah, it's beautiful. I'm more than excited today to see all of this transpire.
More than a year ago, Leah broke ground on the construction project.
Seeing like it from start, and then now it's like the big school.
For her, it's hard to believe the new school is finally here.
I got to see this school when like it was just pipes underneath and just dirt, and now it's a building that I can step into and see in like real life and not virtual reality.
Parents we spoke with understand what it took to get a new school building for Ogden.
I'm very, very happy that we were able to pass that bond and get all these schools to grow with us as a community.
I'm so happy that they're investing so much into just education and giving these kids great places to go to school and really help them learn. Now that the morning rush has passed, it's time to get down to business for students and teachers here at Ogden, and we know it's going to be a great year for them. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Nick. Before students got inside the building for the first time, it was the teachers' turn. Tara Cox joins us now. Tara, the teachers have to be thrilled.
They are. The new building means modern classrooms, lots of open space and light, and on move-in day, it also meant free ice cream. These Ogden Elementary teachers are keeping cool in the hot August sun with some Ben & Jerry's ice cream, thanks to the Association for Learning Environments. That's fun, but not quite as exciting as why they're all here, to see their new classrooms for the first time.
I mean, we have an amazing space. We have natural light. We have 2 floors. We have twice the square footage that we've ever had in our school.
First, they move in their stuff.
Well, I'm trying to unpack. It's a bit frantic, but yeah, it's going good.
In addition to desks and school supplies, teachers are bringing school culture over from the old building.
It is a new space, but I hope that we kind of bring the spirit of everything that Ogden was, but it is.
The new building features an impressive community stairway / auditorium leading to the library, 2 gymnasiums, tons of windows, and outdoor learning spaces.
We have some planter boxes out here that we're going to be doing some gardening, hopefully, composting, things like that, and just getting out into the open space right here on beautiful sunny days to, extend projects. I think it's going to be really cool.
Teachers can't wait to see their students' reactions.
It's going to be priceless. Them to walk into their new classroom wide-eyed, oh my goodness, or whoa, this is amazing.
They know that they're a part of history.
The first recess, the first everything, the first assembly, the first everything. Everything is new, and it's just fun to be a part of it.
There's still some minor work going on at the school, so construction crews will be around for the start of the year, but classrooms are ready to go. Back to you.
Thanks, Tara. We'll have more video inside the new Ogden once the dust settles, so make sure you look for that later this school year. Let's move now from the new Ogden, which you can see here in this drone video, to the old Ogden. That building is just across a field from the new site. And even though Ogden students have moved out, the old building is still full. Students from King Elementary School will spend the year there. Why? Because the old King Elementary has been torn down to make way for a new building. Piece by piece, a construction crew began the process of tearing it down. The new King Elementary School will be built in the same place. So before any new construction can begin, all of the old building needs to come down. Neighbors and members of the King community have been coming by to watch the slow process.
I think there's some sadness, especially for the people that went there, but there's also the excitement of they know it was time. It was really time for that building to come down and allow us to have much more adaptability and flexibility. There'll be so many more windows and natural light and good surfaces, and the kids are going to be super excited about it. So.
Construction on the new 2-story building will begin as soon as demolition is complete. In the meantime, students at King will be attending class in the old Ogden Elementary just a couple of miles away. The layout at Ogden is pretty much identical to King's old building, so it will be a comfortable new home, even though it's temporary. The new King should be open for business a year from now. Before demolition could begin, everything had to be moved out of the building. Teachers and district employees cleared out the building over the course of a week. Amanda Richter joins us now. Amanda, what was it like in the final days at the old King?
It was mostly pretty quiet as staff members salvaged what was still usable and said goodbye to a building that many of them had called home for a long time. Gregory Davis has been at King Elementary for 25 years.
I know all the little nooks and crannies.
Over a quarter century, Gregory has seen a lot.
Yeah, things have changed. When I first started here, they had typewriters.
He's the building operator, and soon there won't be a building to operate. King, more than 40 years old, will be torn down to clear space for a new school.
It's going to be weird. And even when the new building's here and coming to see that in this spot, because this is all I know, is this building.
Before the wrecking ball comes, teachers cleared out their classrooms.
I think a lot of teachers didn't realize how much stuff they had until they started packing.
After that, the district's warehouse staff began their work, hauling out furniture, appliances, and box after box of school supplies and books. They're moving most of it over to Ogden Elementary, which will be King's temporary home for a year. The rest goes to the warehouse for storage or to be distributed elsewhere. King looks a bit like a ghost town.
It's different. I can hear an echo in here now.
And soon it will be gone, replaced by a new school building designed for 21st century learning.
It's going to be pretty cool. It's going to be a lot bigger and way more modern.
As for Gregory, he's sticking around for at least one more year before retirement over at the temporary campus. He's a reminder that it's not the building that makes a school, it's the people inside. Gregory told us that he'll decide next year whether to retire or try a year or two at the new school building. He said he does plan to visit the old site occasionally to check in on construction. Back to you.
Thanks, Amanda. Now take a look at this. We got a cool email from Christy Mendez. Her husband, 2 daughters, and grandson either went or currently go to King. With the move, her grandson Jackson will be attending 3rd grade next year at the Ogden building, which is where Christy went to grade school. She says everyone in her family is sad to see the old building go, but excited for the new one to take its place. The location and design for the new elementary school to be built near downtown have been in place for a while, and finally it has a name. The school board approved it in June, and it was suggested by a student. The new name is Vancouver Innovation, Technology, and the Arts Elementary School, or VITA for short. The name was recommended by Seneca Christie, who goes to Vancouver School of Arts and Academics. VITA in Latin means life. Seneca said in her application that VITA would be a perfect name because elementary students are so lively.
School should be like a place where you want to go, and you should like want to go there every day, and it should be like that's like sort of like your second home because you're there like 6 hours or more, and that's like where you first start your education, and it's supposed to make you like want to go to school. And so if you have a good elementary school, it'll make going to middle school easier and going to high school easier.
VITA will be located on Mill Plain Boulevard, right next to the Vancouver Regional Library Operations Center, near Hudson's Bay High School. The 4-story school will enroll about 500 students. More than 800 name suggestions came in from the community before Seneca's was finally selected. Congrats, Seneca, and great job. Summer was a busy time for new construction in the district, and while there's too much happening to show you everything, here's a look at some of the biggies. Let's start in the gyms at Fort Vancouver and Hudson's Bay High Schools. They both got new bleachers, replacing ancient wooden ones that had been around for decades. The schools are thrilled that fans will have a comfortable place to take in all the action on the court. Truman Elementary is also in the process of getting a new school. Like Ogden, the new building is going up on a piece of property away from the current building, so students are staying in place this year. You can see from the photo that the building is really coming along, and you can start to get a sense of what it will be like. The new Truman will open next year. Over at the McLaughlin Middle Marshall Elementary School site, tons of progress is being made. This is a shot of a beam moving into place at Mac. The two schools will be conjoined to consolidate some basic services like the kitchen. The new Mac building comes right up to the edge of the old building. And here's a great aerial shot of Marshall next door. Like many of the new school buildings going in, Marshall has a 2-story design. That's a big change from the old building, but it ensures all classroom doorways are inside, which makes the building more secure. The old Marshall building will turn into the home of Leaser School, and the new building should be done later this school year. However, the next school to open will be the Vancouver ITECH Preparatory on the WSU Vancouver campus. It's scheduled to open around the holidays, and it's the furthest along in the construction process. When it's done, it will be the first time the 6 through 12 school will have all of its students in the same place. ITECH is set off from the main WSU campus and will have its own parking lot. As these projects go on and the new ones begin, you can keep track on the district website, vansd.org/reschools. You'll get updates of current work sites and plans for future projects. You can also follow along on Twitter. Just look up VPS_reschools. On the first day of school, everyone is excited to get back to business. That includes district administrators. Superintendent Dr. Steve Webb was joined by board member Mark Stoker and VEA President Carrie Van Nostran on a tour of several schools on the first day. We caught up with them at Walnut Grove Elementary. It's a way to wish staff members and students a good start to the year. It's also one of the administrators' favorite days of the year.
It's nice to really celebrate the beginning of the year with all of our students and staff and administrators and wish our entire VPS family back to the school community.
It's a great collaborative opportunity to join Dr. Webb, a school board member like Mr. Stoker, recognizing that we are all looking forward to a successful school year and have that common ground in helping our members and students find success.
In addition to this group, other admin teams took their own school tours, making sure every building got a personal visit to begin the year. Every year, Dr. Webb records a welcome back message to staff and the community. This year, he focuses on the challenges the district faces and the many successes it's finding in the classroom. If you're watching this on Comcast, the message will air after this episode. You can also watch it at youtube.com/VanSDTV. On the first day of school, several schools got a little inspiration courtesy of our local Rotary Club. Washington Elementary was the first to receive a peace pole, a totem encouraging world peace. The mayor was there to do the unveiling. The Rotary Club of Vancouver paid for the purchase and the installation of the poles.
There are 200,000 peace poles that are planted all over the world in nearly every country. And so we decided, our club, that we would plant some peace poles throughout the school district. And so Washington Elementary is our first elementary school, and we're looking forward to doing more.
In addition to Washington, Fruit Valley, Houck, Philida, and Roosevelt Elementaries will get poles, along with Jefferson Middle School. And here's a reminder for everyone in our community. With school back in session, it's important to remember school speed limit zones. It's 20 miles an hour in school zones, and police are enforcing that limit strictly as school gets going. Save yourself a ticket and keep kids safe by keeping it slow around your neighborhood schools. Over the summer, students and staff from Skyview High School earned honors for their hard work. We'll start with a Skyview graduate who won a national championship. Justin Lindsay, who graduated in June, took home first place in the Skills USA competition for extemporaneous speaking. He beat 40 other students from across the U.S. He had just 5 minutes to plan a speech about leadership and then had to deliver it to a crowd. Teacher Nancy Wistron was Justin's advisor. And now on to Skyview staff. Teacher Lynn Eide edged out more than 300 teachers from across the country to win an Odyssey Ware Educator Impact Award. Miss Eide teaches students who work best outside of traditional classrooms and was honored for her work and getting the most out of her students. In addition to recognition, she won equipment that will help her classroom instruction. Skyview teacher Dave Armstrong received one of the University of Washington's most prestigious history awards, the Presley Prize for Excellence in Secondary Education. A former student nominated Mr. Armstrong, who was recognized for his creative and hands-on teaching. Mr. Armstrong uses a variety of methods to make history come alive for his students. And he's not the only history teacher being recognized for his outstanding work. John Zingale from Vancouver ITECH Preparatory is one of 10 finalists for the National History Teacher of the Year. He already won the State History Teacher of the Year. Mr. Z, as the kids like to call him, uses a variety of methods, including virtual reality devices, to engage his students. He'll find out later this month if he won the $10,000 prize and a trip to New York. Before the school year begins, parents and students get ready for another year. For some, the start of the school year begins with a special event held at Hudson's Bay High School. It's called the Go Ready Readiness Festival, and it draws a huge crowd. Long before the doors open, the line to get into the Go Ready Readiness Festival wraps around Hudson's Bay High School. It's full of families looking to get what they need to start the school year off right.
The clothes and haircuts, that's the girls' main thing here.
The doors open at 10 a.m. and families waste no time accessing the services of the dozens of community organizations on site. Like Gabriella, the mom you just heard from, mentioned the free clothes and haircut stations are popular destinations.
We are hoping to get through 100 kids today because it's so important to get them all ready and feeling great about heading back to school.
Families could grab what they needed, and that wasn't the only place where they had access to necessities. Outside, the fresh food pantry provided by the Clark County Food Bank offered produce. Right next door, the free clinic of Southwest Washington checked kids' teeth. The school district also offered a variety of services, bus schedules, school lunch, and more. The district also let families know about their Family Community Resource Centers, which are located at more than a dozen school sites.
We really focus on basic needs because we want students to come to school happy, healthy, and ready to learn. And so what that means is coming to school feeling with their bellies full, feeling warm, awake, not tired. And so we focus on a lot of the basic needs.
The event was another huge success and a reminder of how our community pulls together to help kids. If you want to see more from the Go Ready Festival, the school district TV studio produced a live half-hour special from the event. It's available on Comcast Channel 328, along with the school district's YouTube page. That's youtube.com/VanSDTV. And now it's time for the big picture, our favorite image from social media. This one is sure to make you smile. It was posted by Scott Brantley on the first day of school. His two boys were headed off to class, and their little sister got pretty upset. She didn't want to leave her best buddies behind. I'm sure, though, her spirits improved once she realized she'd have the house all to herself that day. Great photo, Scott. Now let's take a quick look at what's happening across Vancouver Public Schools. A reminder, there's a 40-minute early release just about every Monday this year. The early release allows for teachers' development as educators work together to improve their instruction. Parents, make sure you take the early releases into account for your childcare planning. And that's about it for us. We're excited to bring you news from across the district all year long. Make sure you follow VPS on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. For Nick Vole, Tara Cox, and Amanda Richter, I'm Jessica Moss. We'll see you next time.